First of all, go to GitHub, download the chart of accounts. This is the Excel file. Press download and you'll see there's a pop-up. Click OK. Go back to browser and open the file. Open it. And there we go. Here we only have English and Jap. Select all, Ctrl+C, copy them all. Let me open up the Excel legacy file. Then open up a new worksheet. Randomly pick a cell and paste it by text. Get it down first. And change it to chart of accounts. And then go back to table. Move here. Ctrl+C, copy all these buttons. OK. Go back to table and copy the rest of it. Paste it here. Let's change something. You see NA here, right? So I get back to table, add back chart of account. Remember, it has to match with the tab name. Add the English description, which is chart of accounts. The job description. And a Chinese description. Alright. Then I go back to chart of account tab. Move it around to the right place. Then Ctrl+T, create table. And then go to table design and pick whatever design. Ctrl+Shift+F3, go to name range, the table we just create. Change it to chart of account. This is for future use, OK. Go back to the download file, enable editing. Ctrl+C to copy the Jap column here. Paste special. Values, OK. Let me type the Chinese column. Control+1 cell format. Since it's an input cell, I make it green. Make all menu input cells green. Just differentiate it from the white ones. The account refs and process type will be manually input. So Control+1 cell format, make it green. Now type out the Chinese description. We can start now. Let me change it back to English. For the language source, if process type is P, then equals double quote P, which is payment, comma, and then refer to expense tab here. Cell B3, where you see the language code ENG rate. B3 is not locked, so press F4 to lock it. You see the $sign up front. OK, comma, just sub whatever inside. Here you see English. I'll enter. Suppose we have condition 2, condition 3, something complicated. But now I simplified it by linking to the len code in chart of accounts. F4 to lock it since it won't change. Okay. Here we have all English. Change this to Chinese to separate the two. Now we focus on the column head here, okay? For display name equals index within the whole table, chart of accounts, the blue one, comma, or enter. For the row match, we use the individual reference to match with the whole ref column. You see here the @ sign indicates individual reference. The pink one is the whole column. We match the red to the pink. Comma, type is 0, exact match, comma, or enter. Then we move on to the column match. It's here. We use the expense language. Cell B3. Len code is ENG. F4 to lock it, comma, and then match. Go back to chart of accounts. Column. Here the green column heads where you see ENG, comma, 0 exact match, or enter, close the bracket. Something's missing. Adjusting entries. Delete by mistake. Okay. Oops, something wrong here. There should be some Chinese. Oh, I see. This expense B3 should be replaced by the source len code. Okay. Let's separate it. Type P and other types. Alright then. I have to group all the process type P here. Count P. This formula is a bit complicated. First of all, index to column that holds our result, which is here, select them all, comma, and then aggregate. 15, which ranks from smallest to the biggest. And then 6, here ignore 6. I'm not going too deep here. I'll leave the detailed explanation in other videos. Then for the array, it means when we scroll down display name, we match the criteria which process type is P. Alright, and then open up the bracket, divided by the criteria. Usually I'll type it like this: first criteria, comma, and then K. Alt, enter, close the bracket. Now we fit in the formulas. Here we use a row of the column. Display name. It will return the cell positions subtracted from the first cell position, which is this one. You can just select the cell you have to type. H6 and press F4 to lock it. Then click here and then add one back. Alright, now we are going to divide by criteria, which is process type, like this. Left click equals P. Then K. How we scroll down, we need to lock the first cell, H6. This column's first cell. Row H6. F4 to lock it. Click away and come back. Colon H6. OK. Then close aggregate. Alt, enter, and close the index. Now you should see machinery and other expenses here, right? There's something missing. Before the display name, I better add a reference so that we can refer to it later. What we do is simply go to display name column, add this, and put in individual reference. Insert and again and insert a double quote. To include a stroke, to separate them apart. Now here you see the ref followed by the account description. We look up based on the ref, and a stroke serves as a separator during the search. When you look at count P, the ref is appended to the account description, the blue area. Okay, I don't want the error down here because error makes search difficult. Let's say if I want to make it like this, shows hyphen, what I'm doing is find out the counts of P's. I have 8 P's in the process type column, right? Usually, Control C, point to whatever cell, right click, paste special formula to drop the formula somewhere, and then Control X to cut it out. If rows of cell L6, lock it, colon L6, close the bracket, add it. Here I've locked L6 and leave the L6 on the right unlocked. So when I scroll down, second cell is L6 colon L7. The third cell is L6 colon L8. The rows of this column array will change, right? When you scroll down, it becomes 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay. To determine the number of rows, if this row is more than COUNTIF, process type of this column, comma, if criteria equals P. If it's more than that, I won't count, comma, colon, add a string and dash, comma, alt, enter, Control V, paste the index aggregate part. Okay, then close the bracket, and we'll get this. Get rid of these. If you use Office 365, you can pick a cell equals filter or array. It is my target column display name, comma, for the include, process type equals P. This is just the same as that in count P. Pick a cell for the dropdown, Alt-DL, L list. Source equals the first cell. And then insert a pound key. That's it for Office 365. But this video we are using Excel 2016. So how can we make a drop-down in Excel 2016? Simply pick a place for the formula. Again, it can be removed afterwards. Equals the first cell, L6, great. Remember to press F4 to lock it. Colon, and we have to put an array on the right of the colon. Format looks like this. A cell and then a colon, and a changeable cell range on the right. The changeable range starts with index to refer to the target column that contains my answer. The answer is in count P column, which is the red column, comma, countif, this count P column, and the criteria is open double quote, less or equal to, not equal to, a dash, close the quote, close countif and index, and you should get this. It's just like what we did for Office 365. Left click somewhere if, Ctrl+C, copy them down, and then Ctrl+F3. Let me get rid of this. Create a range called expense Dropbox. Refers to backspace, delete, equals Ctrl+V. Paste the formulas here. Then close. Alt-DL. Just pick a cell and then allow list. Source equals, left click, press F3 and select expense Dropbox. Okay. Then you should see this. Let's say if I switch to Chinese, expense to Chinese, get back to this cell, then I can select in Chinese. Usually I'll Ctrl+C, copy the Dropbox, and get back to expense description column. In first cell, right click, and then paste special by validation. Okay, here you can select in Chinese, English, switch to English like this, Ctrl+C, Shift and down arrow, right click, paste special by validation. Now you can select the expense accounts, switch to Chinese, and select in Chinese as well. Switch back to English. For the next video, we'll go through Settle, which also uses the chart of accounts. You see bank and deposit here. They will be used as well. You'll know the importance of the chart when we're done. See you in the next video. Okay, bye.